Hey, welcome everyone. Saturday afternoon. Today is January 10th, 2026. Welcome back to another Saturday afternoon live stream. Happy to have you all here. It looks like we have 8 of you here in the chat. So thank you all for being here. Hope you had a good first week and a half of the new year. It's going to be a little bit of a shorter stream today. I'm shooting for a cutoff of 1 hour. Simply because I have to be on a plane. I'm leaving for the airport as soon as the stream is over to head out to Chicago. I'm flying out to Chicago for a quick, I don't know if you want to call it a funeral or a celebration of life, but it's for a close family member, a cousin of mine whose wife lost her mom this week. And she had been ill for a while, and it's not immediate family, but it is close family to the point where I want to be there in support. So I am flying out this afternoon. The service or visitation or whatever it is only 4 hours tomorrow. It's from 11 to 3. And then I'm flying back early Monday morning, like 8 o'clock. I'm flying back from Chicago back to Wilmington here. So, yeah, that's the story. So shorter stream today. I contemplated not streaming because my regular time would have put me, in a conflict with getting to the airport. So, but I figured if I can go an hour early for today, so that explains the earlier start time. If I can go at 11:15 today Eastern time and put in an hour, at least I can come out, hang out with you guys, kind of give you an update on what's been going on around here for the week. I figured I would do that. So that's the reason for the earlier start time. Let me go over to the comments. It looks like we have 10 people here and 3 likes. Let's see who's all here. So we have Keith Bennett from Life Journey Productions. Welcome, Keith. Happy to have you here. Thank you for being here. And not a problem. I appreciate you jumping on. You'll catch most of it, it looks like, because I'll be jumping off pretty much at 12:15. So good morning, Terrell, and welcome. Good morning, Jeremy. Hope you've had a good vacation so far. And I know tomorrow you're heading back, and I hope you don't hit any bad weather driving back. So stay safe for that. I appreciate that, Keith. Like I said, it's a not an immediate family member, but the cousin has been like a brother to me. We're roughly about the same age. He's a few years younger. And we've been very, very close. So it's just something I want to do. I feel I need to be there. So hello, TVJ. Just went outside and said, I wish I had something to listen to. And then you went live. Well, here I am, at least for the next hour, TVJ. So yes. Good morning, Grish GPT. And I do love the new screen name, Grish. Welcome. I wasn't sure if you were going to make it today because I went an hour earlier, and I know you usually wake up on Saturday mornings right before the stream, so happy to have you here. Thank you, TVJ. Appreciate it. Like I said, again, not to repeat myself, it's not an immediate loss to me. It's my cousin's wife's mom. But again, the closeness in the family over the years is just one of those things where I do want to be there. We have a rain-snow mix happening in northern Illinois right now. Yeah, that's what I understand, and I'm not thrilled about having to fly in and land at O'Hare later in that. But right now, according to my phone, which I checked right before the stream started, the flight leaving out of Wilmington here is on time. So in any event, that's what's going on. So yeah, so I do have a poll going today. If you check out the poll is what's your main tech-related focus for the start of this year or the year? And 4 options. I wish I could put a 5th option in because for this one, I would have liked to have added all of the above. because I kind of feel like I could fall into the all of the above category, but the options are upgrading or replacing hardware, cleaning up files and backups, learning a new skill, and locking down security and privacy. So please respond to the poll, and we'll look at it towards the end of the stream before we close it out. So let me know how the audio is. I have the microphone down a little further on my shirt today because trying to eliminate a lot of the breaths and things like that. So, yep. So TVJ says, I'm taking down Christmas lights before the rain snow mix hits here. Yeah, I took down the outdoor Christmas lights on the morning of New Year's Day. All that stuff was down, packed, and put away. So, yeah, I don't blame you for getting it done because if you're going to be especially up on ladders and things like that, not fun. So, all right, so that's that. So again, I'm not sure how many people are going to show for today. We do have 13 here, so that's pretty cool. I know people know my normal time slot is 12:15, but it was either start an hour early today or don't stream, and I did want to at least get something in. So that said, what else has been going on? Well, Thursday night, we meaning Lisa and myself, we went to an Italian Italian mobster murder mystery dinner theater show in South Carolina. And I've never been to anything like that. I remember when I was living back up in New Jersey years ago, there used to be Tony and Tina's Wedding on Broadway, and that was something similar, or we went to something similar here. It was an Italian mobster's wedding. We had to solve 3 murders. You're kind of part of the show if you want to be. Yeah, it was interesting to say the least. Definitely a one-time thing to do. It's not something I think I would go back and do again. It was funny to me, as a born and raised Italian in the New York, New Jersey area, that it was funny to me to hear the Southerners speaking with that mobster accent, like, how you doing? So I got a kick out of it from that standpoint. But yeah, it was all good. The food, but it was fun. It's funny too because it was in an Italian, the back like catering room of like a quote an Italian restaurant. So you think they would have gotten the food right, but to say the least, it was a good experience. So that's what we did Thursday night. That was a lot of fun. And yeah, so let's see what else we got going on in the chat. Keith says, I'm also cleaning up files and backups, but lots of time with the YOLO Box Extreme before I have to send it back, plus the Roadcaster video. Yes, for sure. TVJ said, yes, I will be on a ladder. Well, be careful, because I think you still have some snow on the ground unless you got rain this week and washed what was on the ground away. Yeah, the murder mystery was a lot of fun. Was a lot of fun. Like I said, the biggest kick I got was listening to the Southern locals speaking with trying to speak, and you know what? They did a pretty good job. I found the parts I lost during the camera install because all the snow melted. Yeah, I remember you said something about losing the screw-on cap for the RJ45 connector. We did a murder mystery on a train while it was moving, and they served dinner. Oh, wow. Okay. So, see, we were in this ballroom type setting, so obviously it's like we were attending a wedding, and we were the guests at the wedding, and you had to walk around the room, look for clues. I don't know how it works on a train, but you're allowed to get up, walk around the room. The actors actually come down off stage and are actually in the room, like the mobsters were sitting at the table. So-called mobsters were sitting at the table next to us, and the action is going on around you. So in that respect, it was pretty cool. And I did figure out there were 3 murders, and I did figure out 2 of the 3 murders. I couldn't make the connection on the 3rd, but got it. Good morning, Michael Berg. Welcome. Happy to have you here. Any new studio tech you have your eye on? What about podcasting shows this year? That's a good question, Keith. I'm always looking, but nothing has struck me as far as new gear to the point where I need to do anything here in the studio. As far as podcasting shows, nothing planned. The guy, my buddy Les, who was the host of the sports show, it's been, April, it'll be a year that we stopped doing that. And he was the one who stopped it, right? It was his decision. He didn't think he was good enough as a host and decided that he didn't want to do it anymore. We get together regularly. We've been friends for years, and it seems like even though he constantly says he doesn't want to do it, he constantly brings it up every time we're together. Oh, the show's still getting subscribers, and we haven't done a show in 10 months, and so I kind of get the sense that he's trying to feel me out to see if I say, hey, you want to pick it up again and start all over? But I'm not doing that. I've rearranged my studio now, and I've lent out some of the gear that I was using for the sports show. I lent it out to some younger kids, not younger kids, they're in their mid-20s. They're doing a wrestling podcast. And I'm very good friends with the father. Again, close family. Well, this is friendship ties that the father's like a brother to me, and the kids wanted to do a wrestling podcast. So I lent them cameras, one of my ATEMs, lighting, microphones, a mixer, the whole bit. A lot of the stuff that I was using for the sports show kind of went out on loan. So even if I wanted to start it up again, I don't have all the gear to do it. Great question, though. Thank you. We have 17 people here, so it doesn't look like the hour early change affected many people. So for those of you just joining us, the reason for the hour early change is because after the stream, I'm going for 1 hour today, and after the stream, I am flying out to Chicago for a funeral / celebration of life / visitation, as they're calling it officially. Flying back Monday morning, so hopefully the weather will cooperate a little bit. All right, so I made the switch over from Wi-Fi 5 to Wi-Fi 7 about a week ago. Because when I say fully about a week ago, that's when I finally added the outdoor access point, the GWN 7670LR, outside on the pergola. And I showed you that last week. So right now, as of last night, I'm back running a hybrid Wi-Fi. And when I say hybrid Wi-Fi, what I mean is, so when I first laid out the network in this new house 4 years ago, I laid it out with 3 access points. One up here in the studio, which is on the 2nd floor, in the very front of the house. One on the main floor downstairs, kind of centrally located. And it's pretty much an open floor plan down there, so it would pretty much hit the whole floor, first floor. With the exception, I was concerned about the bedroom because the bedroom is on the far right-hand backside of the house, and it's one of the main walls to the bedroom. It's behind, obviously, the bedroom door, and then the main wall it shares a wall with we call our 3-season room. So it's a brick wall, so brick on one side, sheetrock on the other side, on the bedroom side. So I planned it out so when I built the house, I put the third access point in the bedroom, and it's been working fine ever since, for the last 3.5 years, or almost 4 years. So when I made the switch over to Wi-Fi 7, I decided I put the one up here in the studio. I put the one downstairs on the main floor, centrally located one. And then for a couple of weeks, I went only with two in the house. I just wanted to see how it would do. I didn't replace the one. I didn't put one in the bedroom. My plan was to try to not put one in the bedroom, and then see, once I put the outdoor access point into place, if between the one on the first floor, centrally located, and the one outside, which is not far from the bedroom, if between the two there'd be enough bleed over to make sure the bedroom had enough signal. So that's what I've been running for a couple of weeks, and I'm noticing the last week or so that we've been having issues in the bedroom with the TV. Now, the TV is an older TV, but I have a Roku stick on it, and the Roku stick is connected to 2.4 on my IoT network, and the Roku stick has been dropping the signal quite frequently. So since I'm going away, I bit the bullet. I don't want my wife to try to watch TV at night. Again, that spousal approval factor. I don't want the wife to go, retire to the bedroom, watch TV, and have to deal with that, because she would not know how to resolve it. So I turned on the access point that was still in the bedroom. I never took it down. I just literally unplugged it from the switch in the network. And I turned the 5 gigahertz band off, and I have 4 SSIDs in the house, and I only have the IoT SSID broadcasting on that device, and I kept the power to low. That seems to have solved the problem, but I really don't like having the hybrid mix of Wi-Fi 5 and 7 throughout the house, although I think the way I have it configured, we're going to get by. But it just goes to prove how walls and doors really do impact the signal, because literally on the opposite side of the bedroom, so the bedroom's here, and on the opposite side of the bedroom, on the back wall of the house, is my dining room, and the main access point hits there with a full signal. But then that's an open floor plan. There's an open flow there. But when you go to the other side of the house towards the bedroom, you got that brick and sheetrock wall. So that's what I ended up doing for now. Will I eventually buy another Wi-Fi 7 access point and kind of do the same thing, like the way I configured the older one with just the IoT network? I don't know. But I thought it's also odd, too, that in the bedroom, before I turned the old one back on, even though the Roku was having issues, my phone was fine, the iPads were fine, her phone was fine, we had full signal. So it just goes to show, too, that how much not only do the walls and the materials that the construction is built with, but also play a factor, but also so does the device, receiving the signal from the access point, the quality of the antenna inside the device. So that's why when you hear people say designing Wi-Fi networks involves so much work, and doing a scan of the area first. And even though I don't have a diagram of the house, it would make better sense if I just thought of this before the stream, but because I just turned it on last night, I should have been better prepared and had the floor plan to show you the layout of the house. But in any event, that's what's happening right now, running that mix, and it seems to at least, listen, if it solves the problem while I'm away and she doesn't have any problems watching TV, I'll be a happy camper. So TVJ says, this time actually works better for me most days. Interesting. I'm curious if this is, it doesn't seem to have impacted. I average anywhere between 15 and 20 people. So, we're at 18 and 19. So, who knows? Have you used the 2-bay Ugreen NAS. I am looking at one for backup. I have not, but I have heard good things about it, TVJ. And if it's, you're talking about the, which one is that? Is it the 4300 or the 2300 Ugreen NAS? Let's see. See if I can find it. Ugreen 2 to 4 bay NAS. Let's go over to this screen here and switch. Let me get the comment off. Let's see. So products. Are you talking about the DXP 2800? The N100 quad-core CPU, 8 gig of RAM, DDR5, 2.5 gig, LAN port, 4K HDMI, diskless, it's $349. I mean, the hardware is solid, and, you know, I would have no reservations if you only want a 2-bay NAS. I would have zero reservations about using it. I don't have it. I haven't tried it. But again, just going off of my experience now going on almost 2 years with the DXP 4800, I would have no problem whatsoever. So, Grish says, I have a 2-bay Ugreen running Proxmox though. Yeah, they are solid hardware. So, I wouldn't hesitate, Jay. All right, so we got 18 people here, 18 likes. Guys, if you could hit the like button, I would appreciate it. We have 13 votes. I'm going to leave this poll going a little bit longer, and then maybe I'll end it and put up a poll about the time slot, 11:15 versus 12:15, and see what the consensus is. It doesn't matter to me one way or another. So, all right. CES this week, nothing really super excited me. I've been following it. I know Keith had a poll in his stream Tuesday night about what excites you more, CES or NAB, and I responded to his poll, NAB, or at least I put it in the chat. I don't know if it was a poll, but it was a question that he posed. So I've kind of been following CES, watching the highlight videos from different creators, and I mean, there were a couple of products. Are there any products, I'm going to ask you guys this, are there any products that you've heard about at this year's CES that got your attention? Let's put it that way. Let me know in the comments. There were a couple, though. It's apparently there were a couple that caught my eye, just in the sense of, you know, being cool. Not that I would want them. The Lenovo Kira, I think it is. It's like they have now Lenovo has their Siri-like AI assistant, virtual AI assistant. They also have, I don't know if you guys have seen, one of their desktop, their laptop has a rollable screen that rolls out to, I think, 24 inches, but when it's in, it looks like a regular laptop. That I thought was pretty cool, because every time I watched it, I was trying to see the separation, like when it was out, like where, but it looked like one solid screen. So that I was pretty impressed with. TCL, which I don't really care much about that brand for a lot of reasons, but they did come out with a 163-inch TV, which is pretty intense. Now, Creality, that's the Creality, as I say that right? That's the 3D printing company. This isn't a tech-related product, but it's from a tech company. They have 3D, now I don't have it, but they have like slip-on shoes printed in 3D in all different colors, and I thought that was awesome. And I probably would buy them because I do like slip-on shoes. And they're like there's like holes throughout the shoe, so it's like they're vented so your foot would stay cool and also keep it from stinking, I guess. But I thought that was cool. Like I said, from Creality, even though I wouldn't, say that it was a tech product, it came from a tech-related company. Pretty cool concept. And the last thing I saw this morning while I was at the gym was I think there's a company called ILER, IILE or ILEER, something like that. Rechargeable batteries, 9 volts, AA, AAA, D batteries, but rechargeable via USB. Each battery has at the top a USB port and all the technology inside the board and all that. They say you lose about 20% of the battery's capacity because they have to make room for all the tech inside. But I thought that was a cool concept to be able to just plug the battery in and charge it with a USB cable. And then I saw they had one other battery where it looked like, I think it was a AA they showed it with, and they took the top of the AA off and it was a USB-A port underneath the head of the battery. So once you put the battery head back on, then it just looked like your regular AA battery. Take it off and you got your USB-A port and you could just plug it into a wall wart or your computer to charge. So some pretty cool concepts there. Like again, there was nothing earth-shattering. There really wasn't any new groundbreaking tech, I would say, like, wow, never thought of that. That's a great innovation. Innovation, that's the word. Not any great innovation, but a lot of AI. So anyway, let me know. Put your thoughts in the comments on what you have been seeing or hearing about at CES and if anything impressed you. All right. Let's go back here. Good morning, Joe. Welcome. Good morning for real. Once. Yes, before 12 o'clock. Yes. Welcome. Happy to have you here. Jeremy says the color e-ink tablet from TCL looked interesting. Okay, I got to go back. I haven't seen that. I didn't see that. I guess it depends on whose video you watched. Keith Bennett says, I love the new gaming dual screen Asus laptop. It's going to end up in my studio. Oh, really? Very cool. Caught you off guard with the early stream. Yeah, not to sound like a broken record. Again, the reason for the early stream is I'm flying out to Chicago immediately after the stream to attend a funeral or / visitation, celebration of life for a close family member. So flying out today after the stream, flying back first thing Monday morning, flying into O'Hare. Not thrilled. Joe, I hate flying, so I'm not thrilled about getting on the plane knowing that I'm flying into bad weather. But you got to do what you got to do. I saw the pair of slippers 3D printed. Yeah, they look very cool, and I think if they really do hit the market, I will get myself a pair. Keith is saying, good morning to Joe. Love the new gear you have added. Yeah, Joe, lots of good stuff. Lots of great videos. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. I've been watching and enjoying. So, all right. For anybody interested, if you're running a GrandStream UCM, GrandStream release, and I missed it, so I'm going to run my updates when I get back, but GrandStream released a minor update to the UCM back in, switch to here, back in, I think, November, let's see, yeah, so where is it? That's the software UCM. This one right here, 1.0.29.21. I'm running 1.0.29.19. And let's go. Not a lot, just a bunch of fixes. Yeah, it was released on 11/7/2025. I'm not sure how I missed that one, but they give you the upgrade information, important information to know. Some changes, some general call failure prompt tones can now be used for SIP trunk call failure messages, but mostly not a lot of enhancements, just a lot of bug fixes. So, as you see here, so if you're running the GrandStream UCM, probably worth just to stay in the upgrade loop to run the update. What else? What else? I heard from my GrandStream contact this week. I'm supposed to be receiving a shipment either this week, hopefully, or early the following week, and I'm going to be getting one of the Pro switches. I'm not sure which one. I'm going to be getting the GDS facility access, which I'm kind of psyched about that. Let me go back to their site in a second, because I haven't done anything in that area as far as where is it? If I can find them here, facilities management, control stations, not control stations, facility access. Let's see. So they've had a couple for a few years now, like the 3702 and the 3705, but they came out back in the fall with the GDS, keep the mouse off of it, Tony, GDS 3725, the 3726, and the 3727. These three devices right here. Here we go. Here's a better shot of them. The larger one has the keypad and the button, and then the other two just have the button. They all have 2K cameras. So I'm not sure which one of these relays I'm getting, but I'm excited to try them. I think they could be used simply as a video doorbell if you don't want to get all into the integration of access control. But if you want to, you can tie them into your UCM so that when the button is pressed, it can ring a phone, and then the person could buzz you in with a code, things like that. So once it arrives, I think I'm gonna play with it a little bit. I think I'll order an electric strike, and mess around with it. Maybe even do that in a live stream. So I think that's what's come. What else is coming? He said I'm getting the new high performance indoor access point, their latest. So I guess it's the GWN 7674. But if you remember in a recent live stream, one of the viewers was saying how big the GWN 7674 is in relationship to the 7672. And the 7672, I didn't realize it wasn't on screen. The 7672 is big. I think I have one here. Let me check. Just bear with me. Just gotta find it. Aha. So, and I'm going to grab a Unify access point from the back closet just to give you something to relate it to. All right, I'm coming back. I know you can hear me. Okay. All right, so There we go. I'm back. This is the 7672. And in relationship, just to put it in some perspective, this is the Ubiquity UAP AC light. So considerable difference in size. And the 7674, from what I understand, is about 1 7/8 larger in diameter than the 7672. So not even an option for me to put up in the house because it's just too big, way too big. So anyway, that's what's going on there. I got to keep an eye on the time, 37 minutes, because I got to cut at around 12:15, 12:20 the latest. Back up to 18 people and 11 likes. Thank you, folks. I appreciate you. Oh, and I don't think it's on their website, so I can't show it to you. But, well, maybe it is. Let's see. Let me just do a quick scan before I open mouth and say insert foot. No, it's not on the website. So back in the day, I had the GWN 7062Es, these guys here. Yep. I mean, those I could find. Hold on one second. Let me go to the routers. Where are they? Okay, these guys right here. All right, so the GWN 7062E and the ET, these were the routers that I had auctioned off in one of the, not auctioned off, but had given away in a giveaway recently in the fall. So, but I had spoken to you guys back in a live stream in the fall that they were coming out. These could only mesh with themselves. So you could put 2 of these together, 3 of these together, and create 4 of them together and create your mesh network using all 7062Es or ETs. The difference is the ET can do VoIP telephony. So, I mentioned to you back in the fall that Grandstream was coming out with the plug-in-the-wall access point that would be designed to mesh with these guys, and they are. So my contact said he was going to send me the plug-in-the-wall access point, and I was like, okay. I said, but I'm going to, go ahead and buy another 7062E so that I could, do the meshing piece. And he wrote back, and no. He says, don't bother. He says, I remember you did the giveaway. Now that you brought it up, he said, I'll send you. So I'm getting another 7062E and the plug-in-the-wall access point. And I know, Terrell, you were interested in that at one point in time. So that is coming. So you'll get to see that. And then I think the only other thing is I'm still waiting on the point-to-point system, but he says they're coming soon. So. All right, this morning I was having an issue all morning with the monitor over here. It was spazzing out. Now you can't see, wait, you can see it if I do this. Hold on. Let me switch to the product view and go there. So this monitor up here is the monitor that's attached. You can see the on-air words. It's attached to the web presenter. This monitor was spazzing out on me, constantly going black and flashing back on with this picture, flashing black, coming back on. So I tried changing cables. I tried rebooting it. I tried rebooting the whole rack. I reseated all of the connections coming into it. Like I thought, well, maybe it's the 2ME sending the signal out into it. So I reseated the SDI cables on both units, and I went downstairs about 10:30, left it flashing. It was driving me crazy. I came up before the stream, and it's been perfectly fine. So go figure. Technology. Oh, no worries, Joe. It's just a very close cousin who's been like a brother to me my whole life, and it's something I feel like I want to do. I want to be there in support. But thank you. Appreciate that. I have not had the flu at Bob G 3180 this season yet. I did get my flu shot late in the season in December. So fortunately, I am lucky. I know the flu is going like running rampant throughout the country. And welcome to the stream. 3DC fast recharge batteries based on graphene announced at CES 2026. Cool. And welcome, DJ Ware. Joe saying good morning to Keith. Hey, Mike, welcome. Still haven't seen the firmware update to support PPSK. Yes, Mike, honestly, I looked for that this week when I was searching through the software, the support pages, because I do want to update on that as well. And potentially do a video with the PPSK on the 7072, or at least if I don't do a video, test it to see if it works, because I know you were having that issue that we talked about months ago. How did these compare to the Unify Access stuff, and how much do they cost? So Grish, that's a question that I can't answer right now because I've not had my hands on with them. And I don't know the cost on them yet either, but I will definitely let you know as I find out more myself. So we use Unify Protect in church, and it's been absolutely fantastic. Cool. And were you meaning to say Protect or Access? How big was your channel when you got your first free product to review? I'm going to say probably about 5,000 subscribers. I remember actually reaching out to Ubiquity. That was the first vendor that I reached out to. And because I remember seeing videos back then in the day on Ubiquity products, Unify products from content creators that had 1,500 subscribers, 3,000 subscribers. And I thought to myself, oh. So I wrote to them, I reached out, and that's where it all started from there. So about 5,000. I appreciate that, Joe. Thank you very much. And answer the poll. Let's see. We got 19 people here, and we have 19 votes. So I think I'll end this poll. What is your main tech-related focus for the start of the year? Upgrading or replacing hardware, 16%. Cleaning up files and backups, 47%. Cool. Learning a new tech skill, 32%. Locking down security and privacy, 5%. All right. I'm going to end this poll. Like I said earlier, I wish I could put a fifth option, and that would be all of the above, because I kind of feel like cleaning up files and backups is an ongoing thing. Learning a new tech skill, for me, I've been learning, a lot of new tech skills as of late between Home Assistant and Proxmox. And then locking down security and privacy. Like, I kind of feel like they're all ongoing, but anyway. All right, the poll has been ended, and let me create, now that we ended that poll, let me create a new poll just based on the start time, because it looks like we have 20 people here now, and it doesn't seem like the earlier hour has impacted attendance at all. So do you actually, let's do it this way. Now, this may change come the summertime when the riding weather gets nice again, but for right now, All right, we'll start the poll. All right. Let's see. Where are we? Yeah. I knew the mic was on, so why so big? I don't know, Keith. That's a question for the Grand Stream developers. I think that's more, that access point is more designed for enterprise and not residential. I could go to Chicago on that, absolutely. Yep. All right, Keith, take care. Bye-bye. Protect and access. Okay, thanks, Grish. GWN 7674 is around $210. 7672 is about $120. Oh, thank you, Mike, for supplying that. I thought Grish was asking about the GDS facility access systems. I didn't even think that he was asking about the access points. Yeah, I could have told you the price on the access points. Thank you again, Keith. Am I using a different streaming codec today? I am not, Joe. Why? Why do you ask? Is it better or worse? Okay. Let's see. I haven't seen Alonzo here yet in the chat, but I'm laughing because yesterday, let me just bring, actually I don't have to bring it up on the screen ahead of time. Yesterday I was sitting down and I was watching Brandon Lee's video on, his most recent video on self-hosting, things that he decided not to self-host anymore, but actually put out to the cloud. And he gave his reasons why. And during that video, and I'll put a link to the video in the chat if you haven't seen it, it's a good video. Here, let me do that now so I don't forget. Copy. These are just my notes, by the way, as far as this. That's not what I'm putting in the chat. It's the actual link, but not the actual name title to the video. It's just how I listed it for my own notes. But in the chat, not in the chat, in the video, he mentioned that he was doing a giveaway, and he was giving away a B-Link Sir 9 Max mini PC. And so he has the wheel and he spins the wheel. By the way, I like the way he did his giveaway. I got to find out if he designed that giveaway tool himself or what he's using, because I like the fact that he was able to do it in the video while it was happening, as opposed to like what I do is do it off screen and then record it and play the video, because of the way Gleam.io presents the results. They include information in there that you don't want others to see about the winner. But I liked what Brandon did. So he spins the wheel. He's got all the names of the participants' entrance on the wheel. He spins the wheel, and all of a sudden I see and hear this. I hear and see. Oh, wrong one. Damn it. Oh, oops, I forgot to change that. Well, I did fix the macro for the end screen, but here, now that's right. So I did see, and the winner of the giveaway, I see and hear this. Congratulations, Alonzo Smith. And all of a sudden, I sat forward and I went, holy crap, you're kidding me. So congratulations, Alonzo, if you end up showing up or you watch it on replay. Congratulations on winning the B-Link Sir 9 Max. It's a pretty neat looking little device. Let me just see if I can get it up on the screen quick. I know we are approaching the bewitching hour. B-Link. That's one hell of a prize to give away too. That's not cheap. I mean, if you take a look at here, Amazon here. Amazon has it. B-Link Sur 9 Max Ryzen 7 for $798. So it's not an inexpensive giveaway at all. Now, whether or not he was given the device by B-Link and then gave it away, similar to what I did with the Grandstream products, but that's a nice prize to win. So congratulations again, Alonzo Smith. All right. What else? All right, so let me bring you just quickly up to speed on kind of what I've been working on a little bit earlier this week. Let me just get it up on the screen. So with Proxmox, I am experimenting now with server view versus, server view versus, this is server view here where everything's just listed down the side, with server view versus folder view where it kind of categorizes everything here, which makes it look a lot neater. I know Jay mentioned it in his stream where he said, for him, it kind of tidies things up a little bit. It's okay. I don't mind server view, and I always thought that part of the reason why I didn't mind the Proxmox UI, I know a lot of people think it's busy and overcrowded, and I know, Jay, you do think that. I know Tim played around with it. Tim's not here this week, but I know Tim played around with it a little bit, and then he texted me and said he was going to play with XCPNG because he felt like Proxmox was a little busy. And I don't know how he made out with that, but I thought I don't find it to be busy. I find it very natural for me to navigate. Now, I thought it was because I saw so much of Jeremy's content that I just got used to the interface. But then I realized I've been using Macs for years, and I like the column view in the Mac Finder, where everything is left to right, similar to how Proxmox is laid out. So for me, it was just intuitive because that's how I've been using my file folder structure on the Mac for years. So anyway, so I did end up creating a zone and a VNet for my trusted network. Thank you, Grish GPT, for that tip during one of the recent streams. That came in handy because typically I would just go to, if I wanted it on a different network, I was just dropping in the VLAN tag here. But now I do have the option of just choosing the bridge, and it's just could be. Some people think it's cleaner, but it was just a neat little tidbit to learn. So I think Grish mentioned that in one of TBJ's streams. So I got that going on, but I also the bigger thing I did this week as far as project was concerned was this guy right here, and I was concerned that it was going to be a little noisy because the fan is running, but this is the TerraMaster F4 425 NAS, and on the top I only have two NVMe drives in, one here and one here, and I decided to install Proxmox backup server on the TerraMaster and do it bare metal rather than do it in set it up in a VM. I saw Jeremy's video that he put out last week, and thank you very much, Jeremy, for doing that. And after watching the video, I decided that I did not want it to be in a VM. I wanted it to be on bare metal. So I did that with the TerraMaster NAS that I had received. And the reason for it is I have multiple Synology devices. I have the Ugreen NAS, which I absolutely love, and I would buy another Ugreen in a heartbeat. I'm impressed with the TerraMaster in the testing that I did with it here in the lab and the videos that I did on it, but I really don't need to expand to a third NAS operating system at this point in time. So I thought, what can I do with it? And I said, that's a great way. It's a great solution to use it for Proxmox backup server. So I have the actual OS running mirrored on a ZFS RAID 1 configuration on the two NVMe drives, and then I have 3 4 terabyte drives, regular 3.5 HDD drives for storage, and I did that in a ZFS RAID Z1 configuration. So it seems to be working very, very nicely so far. I'll show you that real quick. How are we doing on time? 57 minutes. Getting close, getting close. Let me go over to here. And then I'll go full screen on this. Okay. So I have on the left, you can see under data store, I have my ZFS storage pool. And I have all of my backed up jobs here. I have prune schedule and a garbage collection schedule set up and a verify job schedule set up, and they all run overnight. So when I wake up in the morning, I get the confirmation emails that they have all been run, whether they're successful or not. I haven't had one that hasn't been successful, so it's nice. It's all happening while I'm asleep, which is really cool. I'm still trying to wrap my head around the storage aspect of it. The most recent email I received after the garbage collection was the deduplication factor of 45.9, I think it is, which is like extremely high. And I know the higher, it's better, but I'm trying to figure out like, why is it that high? Yeah. 40, I just went back to that screen, 45.47. So I'm trying to wrap my head around it, because like if I show you this, and I probably need to be wrapping this up, but just let me get you in here real quick. Nothing that I'm sure you guys haven't already seen or are familiar with, but like I said, I'm trying to wrap my head around it. Where is it? So, all right, let's go back here. So this is the confirmation email from Proxmox, and this is the backup that's going to the NFS share on the Ugreen NAS, and it's 110 gigabyte. Now, gigabyte, I can't even say it with the hard G's, but I know there's different pronunciations depending on where you are in the world. Gigabyte. So I'm just going to say gigabyte because that's easier for me. 110, and then if you look at the backup from to the backup server, from the backup server, run by the backup server, you got 1,000 gigabytes. So a whole lot more. But then, and I understand that the NFS backups are heavily compressed, and these are not, right? But then when you look at the garbage collection here, and it says original data usage 4.727 gigabyte, and the original on that's the original, and the on disk usage is 106. So you got a deduplication factor of 45.47. And the way I understood it was that if you, let's just say you had a deduplication factor of 10, then that means like if you weren't using Proxmox backup server, you would need 10 times more the amount of storage to store those backups than if you are. So I can't wrap my head around it because right now anyway, I'm trying to wrap my head around it. Let's just leave it at that. So let's go to the comments, and I think there are no polls to review, weekly polls, because I didn't run any for January. I will get back to those in February. I do promise. I know you guys did like that, and it was good for the channel too. It was good for the channel, so I will get back to running those polls a couple times a week in February. Joe says he thought the encoding of my video looked a bit different. No, it's the same. Lighting's the same. Everything's the same. TVJ says it does look similar to the Mac Finder. Yeah, and that's why I think between the combination of seeing a lot of Jeremy's Proxmox content and my years and years of use with the Mac Finder in column view, I think that's why I adapted so easily to Proxmox. Hello, Alonzo, and congratulations, Alonzo, for winning that B-Link SER9 Max. I don't know if you were here before when I told the group I was watching Brandon Lee's video yesterday, and all of a sudden he does the drawing, and I'm not paying attention because I wasn't in the drawing, and I hear, and congratulations, Alonzo Smith. And I was like, oh, I know him. So congratulations. That's a nice prize to win, and welcome to the stream. And TBJ says, I don't like Finder, so that makes a lot of sense. Okay, well, there you go. Grish is saying to Joe, look at the stats for nerds. Maybe YouTube is serving you something new. Looks like the VP9 as usual. I know. I'm not. I'm saying, is the G hard G or soft G? Is it G or J? J. So for me, I'm just going to say Jibba-bite. I think I just have it configured in the server. I forget where I did it during the setup process, but I will, Jay, I do gotta go. I'm 5 minutes over already because I'm flying out. I got to get to the airport, but I will touch base with you during the week if you don't find it before that. Or I know Grish GPT will probably have the answer for that. I have lost all hopes for Apple supporting AV1 encoding. They only put the encoder on Silicon just because of YouTube and streaming services wanting to serve AV1. Yeah. Wow, let me check my email. Hey, listen, unless there's another Alonzo Smith in the world, which I guess is possible, but another Alonzo Smith that's, around YouTube, I don't know. I think it's you. Congratulations. All right, folks. I appreciate you all. Let's quick take a look at the poll. 50%. We got 11 votes. It's kind of 50-50, 45-55, 11-15, or 12-15 Eastern. So I'll probably just stay with my 12-15 time slot. We still got 20 people here, so thank you all. Listen, I got to run. Have a great week. There will be a video this week. Sorry I didn't get one out this past week. Just been a little crazed. I will see you guys all in the next video and at the next live stream. Take care, and we shall talk soon. Bye now.